Golden afternoon light settles across the quiet lake, where drifting clouds and gentle ripples invite a thoughtful pause. Carrying a sealed envelope, the young man approaches the weathered bench, with concern visible in his slow, uncertain steps. He opens the envelope and studies the colored rows on his statement, realizing how quickly the burden continues to swell. Noticing the worry on his face, his father calmly pats the empty place beside him and offers a quiet, reassuring welcome. Seated together, they examine the statement while their faithful old dog rests peacefully upon the ground beside the bench. The older man arranges 6 smooth stones in a careful row, showing how the debt has accumulated steadily, little by little. He builds the stones into a small pyramid, showing how repeated interest can turn modest charges into a far heavier burden. Watching the stone tower beside the water, the young man begins to understand the true cost of leaving the balance unpaid. His father points toward the pyramid's top, making the lesson clearer as the young man responds with one thoughtful nod. In his notebook, he taps the dark red one of 3 colored priorities, choosing the most urgent balance to confront first. For another quiet moment, he looks across the lake and considers how patience and a focused plan could restore confidence. His father gestures toward their cottage, inspiring him to sell unused belongings and put the money toward his repayment. Back in the warm living room, the young man places an old book into a box beside gadgets he no longer truly needs or uses. He closes the first box and presses packing tape firmly across its center, preparing everything inside for a careful sale. With both sealed boxes ready, he pauses beside them and feels a welcome sense of order replacing the clutter around him. Holding one box securely, he walks toward the open door while the second package remains beside the cedar shelf behind him. At a quiet market stall, a shopkeeper examines the vintage book while the young man patiently waits beside the packed box. Satisfied with the items, the shopkeeper gives him a sealed payment envelope, completing their simple and fair exchange. He walks through the market with the envelope safely at his side, carrying home both the money and a renewed sense of hope. As afternoon shadows deepen, he reaches his quiet cottage, opens the wooden door, and steps across the welcoming threshold. Inside, he places the payment envelope on the table, and his father's approving nod recognizes the effort behind it today. The young man settles at the small desk, opens the payment screen, and prepares to turn his careful plan into real action. His hands enter a payment larger than the minimum, directing more of his hard-earned money toward the costly balance now. With his finger poised above the green button, he pauses briefly and gathers the confidence to confirm this important step. He completes the payment, and a green mark appears as his father rests a warm, steady, encouraging hand upon his shoulder. Afterward, he calmly watches the daylight fade through the window, absorbing the relief created by one disciplined choice. Nearby, his father gathers the other papers into one tidy stack, restoring calm order after their careful planning session. Their elderly companion quietly enters and gently nudges the young man's hand, sharing the comfort of a productive evening. Together, the 2 men walk toward the open porch while the old dog follows close behind, eager to remain near the family. They sit side by side on the porch steps, the closed notebook between them as a quiet symbol of the new plan now underway. Above the garden, the moon begins to rise as father and son quietly enjoy the calm that follows one meaningful decision. Tired after the long day, the old golden dog turns slowly on the woven mat and curls into a comfortable place beside them. A gentle evening breeze moves the wooden chimes, sending delicate notes across the porch and through the darkening garden. The young man closes the notebook with quiet confidence, and his father's gentle nod confirms the lesson has taken root. As night deepens, the older man rises from the porch step and stretches his shoulders after their thoughtful afternoon. The young man stands beside him with a relaxed smile, ready to carry this discipline into the ordinary days still ahead. They quietly walk through the open doorway into the warm cottage, leaving their sleepy companions safely on the porch mat. From inside, the young man looks back toward the porch, and the old dog rises to follow him with 2 slow, trusting steps. Once the dog is safely inside, the older man's hand gently closes the screen door and settles the family in for the night. Outside, 2 warm windows glow against the dark cedar walls, revealing a peaceful family home beneath the quiet evening sky. Behind one softly lit curtain, 2 familiar silhouettes rest at the table as one slowly lifts a warm cup and sets it down. Later, the final upstairs light fades, now allowing the entire cottage to settle into the deep stillness of restful sleep. Under clear stars, the dark cottage and garden remain peaceful, with one faint porch light watching quietly over the path. High above the distant hills, the full moon shines through the deep blue sky, while a thin cloud drifts silently beneath it. At last, the empty garden welcomes the first light of dawn, carrying yesterday's lesson forward into a brighter tomorrow.